Good morning, students. Today we will start with chapter number 15 of your textbook, that is probability. Now first of all, what is probability? Probability means chances. Okay? Probability means chances. The probability of an event lies between 0 and 1. Now what is this 0 and 1? See, probability means chances. Chances are there that it will rain today. Okay? So the rain will either come or not come, but it is chance. Okay? We are talking about chances, that it can either rain also or it cannot. Okay, if it will rain, then the probability of rain is 1. If it is not, then it is 0. Okay, so this is your probability. Your probability always lies between 0 and 1. Okay, it is always, whether you want to write your answer or something, your answer must be between 0 and 1. Now P of E. What is this P of E? P of E is for events. Okay, in probability we are denoting every possible situation by E, that is event. Okay, now P of E is equals to number of outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Now what is this? We are having number of outcomes or trials, you can say trials. Okay, number of outcomes or trials upon total number of outcomes upon total number of trials. Okay, trials or outcome, both are the same thing. This is your formula to find out probability. Whatever the outcomes you are having, write that outcome upon total number of outcomes. Okay, whatever the total outcomes you are having, that you have to write in your denominator, and whatever the possible number of outcomes are there, that you have to write it in your numerator. Now probability of a certain event is 1. Now what is this certain event? Certain event means the event which will happen. Okay, the probability of that event is 1, and probability of an impossible event, the event which will not happen, that probability will be 0. Okay, if the event is not possible, then how you can say about the probability? That probability is 0 over there. Only this much you have to remember. That is a very little thing for you. Just remember these things and we are done with the chapter, starting with the exercise. Okay, if you will remember this formula, it will be very, very easy for you. Now see exercise 15.1, that is on page number 283 of your textbook. Okay, first question is, in a cricket match a batswoman hits a boundary. Okay, first question is, in a cricket match a batswoman hits a boundary 6 times out of 30 balls she plays. Find the probability that she did not hit a boundary. Okay, there is a cricket match is going on and a batswoman hits a boundary. She is hitting a boundary 6 times out of 30 balls she played. Okay, now you have to find the boundary on the balls which he did not hit the boundary. Okay, so the total number of trials is 30 for you, because 30 balls are there, so the total number of trials or outcomes, you can say it is 30. Now number of times the balls touched the boundary is given in your question, that is 6. Now the total number of times it did not touch the boundary. See, it is 6 is the number of times balls is touching the boundary. Okay, from 30 it is touching 6 times. Then we want to find the ball did not touch the boundary, so it will be 30 minus 6, which is 24. Okay, now what is the probability you want to find? That the ball did not hit the boundary. Did not hit the boundary means the total number of outcomes is 24 over here. Okay, so our formula is P of E is equals to number of times the batsman did not hit the boundary upon total number of balls she played. Okay, I have told you number of outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Number of possible outcomes are 24 upon total number of outcomes are 30. So it will be 24 divided by 30. This will give you 4 by 5. Further it will give you 0.8. Okay, this way you have to do. Now question number 2. Question number 2 is 1500 families with 2 children. Okay, 1500 families are there with 2 children were selected randomly and the following data were recorded. This is your data. Number of girls in a family where 2 girls are there, that number of family is 475. 1 girl is there, that is 814, and no girl child is there, this number of families are 212. Now what you want to find is, compute the probability of a family chosen at random having 2 girls child. Now you want to compute the families which is having 2 girl child, then the family which is having 1 girl child, then the family which is having no girl child. See now, for 2 girls child, okay, total number of families you are having is 1500. For question number 1, number of families having 2 girl child in a family is 475. Okay, this data I have collected from that box which is given. So that is 475. Now probability of a family having 2 girls, it will be total number of possible outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Okay, possible is 475 because for 2 girls it is 475. So your possible outcome is 475 upon total number of outcome is 1500. So your answer will be 19 by 60. Now see for second, in that question only you are having 1 girl child. Okay, so probability of a family having 1 girl child is, see from that table you will find that 1 girl child, the family which is having 1 girl child, it is 814. So 814 is your possible number of outcomes divided by total number of outcomes, that is 1500. It will give you 407 upon 750. Then you want to find no girl child. Okay, probability of a family having no girl child. So from that table again you will find the values of the probability which is the family which is having no girl child. So probability of a family having no girl child is 211. See, the family that are having 0 girl child, they are 211 in numbers. So 211 are possible outcomes upon total number of outcomes, that is 1500. So it will give you 211 by 1500. Okay, next you want to find, also check whether the sum of these probabilities is 1 or not. Now we want to check that the sum of these probabilities is 1 or not. So also the sum of the obtained probabilities. Okay, obtained probabilities means 19 by 60 plus 407 by 750 plus 211 by 1500. If you will go for this sum, you will get 1500 by 1500 which is equals to 1. See, it is not 19 by 60, it is 475 upon 1500. Okay, if you will do it in this way, it will be simple for you. And right here, see what I had written earlier, that will also give you the answer, but this will be easy for you. Okay, see now here you are having denominator same. So same denominator, you can add up the numerators. Directly add 475, 814 and 211. This will give you 1500. So 1500 divided by 1500 will give you 1. So yes, the probability is 1. Now question number 3. Refer to example 5, section 14.4, chapter number 14. Find the probability that the students of the class was born in August. Okay, now you have to refer this question, that is on page number 247 of your textbook. This is your question. In a particular section of class 9, 40 students were asked about the months of their birth and the following graph was prepared for the data so obtained. Okay, this is your graph. The students who are born in January are 3, number of students born in February are 4. What we want to find, number of students born in August, so it is 6. Okay, now the total number of students are 40. Okay, now come to our question. See, August is having total 6 students. Remember this. Now come to the question again. Find the probability that a student of the class was born in August. You have to find the probability that the student of the class was born in August. So how many students born in August? That is 6 students. Okay, so total number of students born in a year is 40. Okay, you know that total number of students which is 40. Now from that, number of students born in August is 6. So the probability of students of class 9 who was born in August, it will be number of possible outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Here number of possible outcomes is 6 upon total outcome is 40. So this will give you 3 by 20. Okay. Then come to question number 4 of your textbooks. 3 coins are tossed simultaneously 200 times with the following frequencies of different outcomes. Now see, 3 coins are tossed. Okay, coin contains head and tail, 2 outcomes. Okay, 1 coin contains 2 outcomes. Now here 3 coins are tossed and that too simultaneously. Simultaneously means together. Okay, together 200 times with the following frequencies of different outcomes. Now you are having outcomes. Outcome 3 heads. 3 heads you are getting 23 times. Then 2 heads you are getting 72 times. 1 head you are getting 77 times, and no head you are getting, that means all tails you will get, that is 28 times. Okay, now what you want to find, if 3 coins are tossed simultaneously, tossed again, compute the probability of 2 heads coming. We want to find the probability of 2 heads. Now see from your data, given data, how many times 2 heads occur, that is 72 times. So our possible number of outcomes is 72 divided by total number of outcomes, that is 200. 200 times we have tossed the coin, from that 72 times 2 heads came. Okay. So total number of times the 3 coins are tossed is 200 upon number of outcomes 2 heads are coming, that is 72. So probability of 2 heads coming, that will be number of possible outcomes upon total number of outcomes. This will give you 72 by 200. When you will further divide it, it will give you 9 by 25. Now see question number 5. An organization selected 2400 families at random and surveyed them to determine a relationship between income level and the number of vehicles in a family. The information gathered is listed in the table below. Now this is the information which that organization has gathered. Okay, monthly income of the family and vehicles per family. Okay, this is 0 vehicle per family, this is 1 vehicle, this is 2 vehicle, and this is above 2 vehicles. Now this is monthly income, that is in rupees. So the family which is having less than 7,000 and having no vehicle is 10, having 1 vehicle is 160, having 2 vehicles is 25, and above 2 it is 0. Then the family which is having income group between 7,000 to 10,000 and having no vehicle, that is 0. Then they are with 1 vehicle, that number of family is 305. Then with 2 vehicle they are 27, and above 2 it is only 2. This way you are given the data. Now come to our question. What is our question? Suppose a family is chosen at random. Okay, we are choosing a family at random. Now find the probability that the family chosen is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We are given total 5 questions. So one by one we will solve this. First question is earning 10,000 to 13,000 per month and owing exactly 2 vehicles. Now from this table you have to go between the income group of 10,000 to 13,000. Now see, where is 10,000 to 13,000? This is the income group between 10,000 to 13,000. And what you had asked in your question, owing exactly 2 vehicles. So search for exactly 2. This is exactly 2. So your answer will be 29. This is your possible number of outcomes divided by total number of outcome. What is your total number of outcome? That is the total number of family. How many families we are having? 2400 families. Okay. In your question it is given that this many families are selected at random. So 29 upon 2400 is your answer for question number 1. Now earning rupees 16,000 or more per month and owing exactly 1 vehicle. See, this way you have to do. Total number of families is 2400. Now probability of a family earning rupees 10,000 to 13,000 and having 2 vehicles are 29 to 2400. Okay, then question number 2, earning rupees 16,000 or more per month and owing exactly 1 vehicle. Now this is the number of families which is earning rupees 60,000 per month and above. So it is a probability of a family earning rupees 16,000 and above and owing exactly 1 vehicle. So that is the number of family which is 579 divided by total number of family, that is 2400. Okay, then question number 3, earning less than 7,000 per month and owing exactly 1 vehicle. So the family which is earning less than 7,000 per month and owing no vehicle, that are 25. Okay, that is 25 upon 2400. It will give you 1 by 96. Now question number 4, earning 13,000 to 16,000 per month and owing more than 2 vehicles. 13,000 to 16,000 per month. This is 16. And owing exactly 2 vehicles. That number of families are 25 by 2400 and owing exactly 2 vehicles. Okay, here it is. No vehicle. Now this number of families are 25 and it will give you 25 upon 2400, which is 191 by 96. Okay, now here see question number 3, earning less than 7,000. I had written for question number 4 over here. It will give you the family which is earning less than 7,000. That number of family is 10 and owing no vehicle. Okay, so it is 10 upon total number, that is 2400. So 0 and 0 will get cancelled. It will give you the answer 1.240. This is your answer for question number 3. Okay, this answer is for question number 4. Now question number 5, owing not more than one vehicle. Now see the family which is owing not more than one vehicle. When you will see in your table, you are having this family is not having not owning more than one vehicle, and this family is also not having more than one vehicle. So what we will do, we will add these two families. Okay, 10, 0, 1, 2, 1, 160, 305, 535, 469 and 579. We will add this up. Okay, so probability of a family having not more than one vehicle, that is number of family having no vehicle plus number of family having only one vehicle. So number of families which is having no vehicle is 10 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1, and number of families having only one vehicle, they are 160 plus 305 plus 535 plus 469 plus 579. When you will sum this up, 10 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 will give you 14, 160 plus 305 plus 535, 469 and 579 will give you 2148. 14 plus 2148 will give you 2162. That is your probability. Total outcome is possible number of outcome is 2162 upon total number of outcome is 2400. This will give you 1031 divided by 1200 is your final answer. This way you have to solve the sum. Now question number 6, refer to table 14.7 chapter number 14. Now you have to refer to table number 14.7 given in chapter number 14. From that you have to find the probability that a student obtain less than 20% in mathematics test. Okay, then second, what you want to find the probability that a student obtain marks 60% or above. So first of all, come to this table, that is page number that is on page number 251 of your textbook. See, this is the table. A teacher wanted to analyze the performance of two sections of students in a mathematics test of 100 marks. Looking at their performances, she found that a few students got under 20 marks and a few got 70 marks or above. So she decided to group them into intervals of varying sizes as follows. Okay, what the teacher is doing, she had taken a test or what, something like that, of that subjects, mathematics and of mathematics she had took. Now the performance of students are below 20 also, and there are some students whose performance is 70% or above. Okay, so what the teacher has decided to make a intervals of varying sizes. Okay, she is making a intervals, that means from 0 to 20 how many students are there? 7 students are there. Then from 20 to 30 marks 10 students are there. 30 to 40 again 10 students are there. 40 to 50 20 students are there. 50 to 60 20 again. Then 60 to 70 it is 15. Then 70 and above there are only 8 students. So when you will do the sum of these students, you will get 90. Okay, now this is your data for reference. Now your question is, first question is, find the probability that a student obtained less than 20% in mathematics test. Okay, you want to find that a student attains less than 20%. Now less than 20%, we are only having 0 to 20. Okay, so number of students are 7 and your total number of students are 90. So our answer will be 7, that is possible number of outcome, divided by total number of outcome, that is 90. So 7 by 90 will be your final answer. See, you have to solve it in this way. Total number of students are 90. Now question number 1 is number of students obtained less than 20% marks, that are 7 students. Now probability of students obtaining less than 20% marks will be 7, because possible outcomes are 7 and divided by total number of outcomes, that is 90. So it will give you 7 by 90. Now question number 2 is, find the probability that a student obtained marks 60 or above. Now number of students obtaining marks 60% or above are number of students in the class interval 60 to 70. See now, the students which are obtaining 60% or above, there are two group of students, that is 60 to 70 will also come, and the students who scored above 70 will also come. Okay, so number of students in class 60 to 70, that interval will come, plus number of students in class 70% and above, that will also come. So number of students in class interval 60 to 70 is 15 and number of students in class interval 70 and above is 8. So 15 plus 8 will give you 23. Therefore probability of students will be 23 divided by total number of students, that is 90. Now question number 7. To know the opinion of the students about the subject statistic, a survey of 200 students was conducted. The data is recorded in the following table. Now this is the data which is recorded, opinion and number of students. Survey is opinion, to know the opinion of students, a survey is conducted. So the students who like statistics, there are 135 students, and the students who dislike statistics, there are total 65 students. Now what you want to find the probability that a student chosen at random. First is like statistics. Okay, so now how many students like statistics? That is 175, and total number of students are 200. So what we will do, total number of possible outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. This will give you 135 divided by 200. This will be 27 by 40. And for second number, does not like statistics, that means dislike statistics. So that students will be 65 upon total number of students, that is 200. This will give you 13 by 40. Now how you will solve this in your book? Let me show it to you. Total number of students whose opinion is obtained, there are 200 students. Now first question is number of students who like statistics. There are 135 students. So probability of students who like statistics, it will be 135 upon 200. This will give you 27 by 40. Now number of students who do not like statistics is 65. So probability of students who dislike statistics will be 65 by 200. This will give you 13 by 40. Now question number 8. Refer to question number 2, exercise 14.2. What is the empirical probability that an engineer leaves? 3 questions are with you. That is, first question is less than 7 km from her place of work. Now second question is more than or equal to 7 km from her place of work, and third question is within half kilometer from her place of work. These 3 questions you have to find. Now which question you have to refer? Question number 2 of exercise 14.2, that is on page number 245 of your textbook. Take it out. Now see, this is the question. The distance in kilometers of 40 engineers. Total there are 40 engineers from their residence to their place of work were found as follows. Now this is the distance. Okay. Total 40 engineers are there, and the place of their work and the residence, that is the distance. This all are the distance between their residence to their place of work. Now what you want to find? You want to find, question number 1 is find the probability that the engineer is living within 7 kilometers. Okay, within 7 kilometers you want to find. So find the probability within 7 kilometer means less than 7. Okay, so this will be or equals to 7. 7 or less than 7 means that is within. Okay, so it will be 5, 3. This all are less than 7. So I am taking 5, 3, then 7 is there. Then in second line 2 is there. Then again 7, 7, 3, 5, then 3, then 2, 6, 7, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.